Do I need to share it?
Yes. Yeah, if you'll go, nobody's up there yet. So if you go to my business page, you'll see me live. It should be Keisha Sanders, Pampered Chef, and then share that to your page, and then we'll be broadcasting on both.
Okay, I must think that's the right thing.
You went to my personal page?
Yeah, so it's Keisha, what is it, K-E-I?
K-E-I, mm-hmm.
And is it PCVIP group? No, Pampered Chef.
Mm-hmm, Keisha Sanders, Pampered Chef. Hello! Somebody's here. So I'm coming to you live from our host for the week's home. Beautiful kitchen. We're here with just the family, and we are going to have a good time. We are making shrimp and grits, and I'm going to get to show off one of our new fall products. We have our, I need to get the formal name for it. It's our new skillet, non-stick skillet. This is what we're going to be using today. It's a steaming skillet. So it's got this beautiful silicone insert that can also be used as a trivet that you can sit on your counter. And nice domed lid. And a little silicone helper on the side when you take it out of the oven. And in proper Pampered Chef fashion, this pan goes with our nonstick set, and it has the removable handle that comes right off, and you can store it right inside the pan. If you're familiar with our nonstick cookware, did you get it? Mm-hmm. Okay. It can handle metal inside of it without scratching. It's got a lifetime guarantee, so if you have any problems with it, you're just gonna call your Pampered Chef lady, Keisha Sanders, or we're gonna call the home office and we'll get that all switched out for you. So today we're gonna go ahead and start with, get the grits done. And we are using our Measure All cups. The numbers aren't read from the outside. You can actually read them from the inside. That makes it really easy. So you're not having to bend over to figure out what's going on or how much you got in your cup. It's called our Easy Read measuring cups. And it comes with 4 of them. They nest together really nicely. I brought 3 today because the 4th one was in the dishwasher. But they nest together. It goes from a 4 cup all the way down to a 1/4 cup, which has some little ounce measurements on the side. So what we got in this pot, we have one cup of grits, 4 cups of water. This is how my mother taught me to make grits. 1 part grits, 4 parts water. Cold water. Salt. Need some salt. Turn it just a little bit. All right, so you're gonna salt this to taste. I don't know exactly how much I put in there, but I do it by my hand. And spin it around. We'll use this utensil. This is our wood and silicone. It comes in a set of 3. The pasta one is at home, but it also has a spatula and the spoon. So these are nice to cook with. So you're going to stir that up, and then you have a regular spoon.
Mm-hmm. You want to put fire on it?
No, not yet. I hadn't.
What size spoon?
Just a regular, just on the taste the water. So I'm just doing this to taste the water to make sure it's enough salt in there. Because the hardest thing to do is to salt the grits after they're done. Mm. It feels like you're putting a little bit too much. So I need a little bit more in there. We'll be good to go. Because we're also going to put butter in. And that'll help them out. All right, so front one is over here. All right. So we're gonna turn that on high and we're gonna let the grits boil first. They're gonna boil and we're gonna stir them because we don't want them to stick or get clumpy. And then we're gonna cut it all the way back on simmer, real low. And then we're gonna put a tight fitting lid on it and just let them do their thing while we do everything else. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is our shrimp. So we have some raw shrimp. These are jumbo, and they are easy peel. Put this bowl too. Thank you. They've already been peeled, and we seasoned them with some Jamaican seafood seasoning. I put just a little sprinkle of like a all-purpose table. Well, this is kind of like similar to Mrs. Dash. It's like an all-purpose seasoning without salt. And just a pinch of thyme. A little bit of oil, just enough to get everything to stick to the meat. These are deveined. And we're gonna, did that come on? Yeah, it is. It's on. So we're gonna go on medium high. To get our pan hot, and we're gonna saute the shrimp. We'll saute the shrimp in this pan, and then what we're gonna do is make a gravy. So we're getting a lot of little technique lessons today. We're gonna do gravy, we're gonna do grits. These are some things that sometimes they seem to be very easy, but sometimes they can be troubling for folks. So, and a lot of it is people try to rush. Don't rush your grits. Don't rush your gravy. Those are some of those dishes that you just cook with love and you just take your time and cook them. Well, I don't need that right now. Okay. Yeah. So I will put the link for my host this week is Cassandra Buffalo, and I'm going to put her link to her party. This is her beautiful home. Thank you so much for having me. And we will put the link for her party in the comments after we're done. So that way, if you would like, if you see something you need, you can order in her party. All right, the grits are about to boil. It's on the way. It's coming. You want to do this part? You can maybe do a half a stick. Once it starts, well, we'll put it on in there, in the grits, and let it melt down too.
Go ahead and put it in there.
Yeah, you can, because the water is getting hot. So we're putting in a half a stick of butter into the grits. So we got 1 cup of grits, 4 cups of water, and then we're putting in a half a stick of butter. It's not quite boiling, but it's getting there. It was starting to boil, and we went ahead and put that cold butter in there, so that'll reduce the temperature just a little bit. So we won't close it up until it starts to really get going. Put a little oil in here. I'm just so used to having a little bit of oil, so I'm putting a little bit of oil in this non-stick. Even though we know we could cook the shrimp in there. But I want the oil to start cooking because that's going to be the base of the gravy. It's going to be flavored by the meat. So the pan is hot. about 2 pounds, maybe 2.5. What we do, 2.5 pounds of shrimp. So I'm gonna have to do this in 2 batches because I don't want them to overcrowd. We got them all over here together. Thank you. Rinse my hand. All right, we're bubbling over here, so we're gonna stir those grits because we don't want them to stick to the bottom. If you don't stir them, they will stick on you. But melting that butter in now will help so that they don't stick to the bottom of your pot. Because there will be oil combined in this liquid mixture. So that's going to help with sticking. And then we'll check it periodically and give it a stir. If it needs a little bit more water, you can put a little bit more water in. I like thick grits. So, but if you start off with that 4-to-1, I promise you, you will be happy. You can already see it starting to get thicker. We need a like a plate or something to put these on as this first batch comes out. Okay. And then we'll return them to the pan after they're finished. So they're starting to turn pink on the tips. I need to move this. Let me see if I can get y'all a little closer to the action. Yep, there we go. All right, got you a little closer to the action. So that was hot. Let me put my helper back on here. Pampered, not perfect. A perfect kitchen, I don't know where they exist. Yeah, that's good. You can sit it back there. Will that sit back there? Okay. All right. So the grits they are boiling. And you're going to stir them so that you can feel that you don't have anything stuck to the bottom. You don't want anything stuck to the bottom. We're going to start like that. And then we're going to turn it down on low. Did I turn it off? Okay. We're going to turn it down to the low setting. You see how they're looking? We're starting to try to stick at the bottom, but you just, stir it gently, and you can loosen all that up. But it's got butter in the mixture, so it's not gonna be stuck. So, and see it's bubbling good. Put that on, and we let that do its thing. All right. So we can turn these shrimp over. It doesn't take long.
I'm gonna put that up over there.
Okay. Oh, it's coming out. Thank you. Now I'm used to cooking on electric. I love gas stoves, but it's a little bit different. So I have to make sure I don't turn. I went to one person's house and I accidentally burnt the fish because it was going so fast that they got away from me. So now I start a little lower and I just adjust. And it doesn't take long for the pans to heat up either with gas. I love it. If I ever come out of condo living, that's going to be one of my must-haves in my next home. I must have a garage and I must have a gas stove.
You must know me as your realtor.
All right, all right, all right. Yeah, I've been condo living for 20 years. But it saved me because when I lost my job during the pandemic, Pamper Chef and purchasing early, because I bought it when I was 26. Those were the two things that really helped me to get through. It was a blessing to me that I didn't understand, why I had stayed so long. But it worked out because it was the ram in the bush. I could pay that mortgage with my eyes closed. Didn't have to have, even with no job, I was able to do it. Because it was so low, you know, because I had been there so long.
Right.
All right. So we're going to get the rest. Will you pass me the rest of that shrimp? We got that first batch cooked. And even if it feels like they're not all the way there, don't worry about it. Because we're going to return it to the gravy. So they're going to cook more. So my version of shrimp and grits is not quite like everybody else. I know some people do it with onions and peppers. I don't use onions and peppers. I do a spicy brown gravy. And it's got a little bit more of a, I don't know, like a Cajun type feel to it. But it's delicious. I have some fans. I have some fans of my shrimp and grits. All right, so I can see this over here bubbling in this pot. And just for good measure, I want to give it a stir to make sure we're not sticking. I babysit the grits now. If it feels like it's getting too thick on you or it's going too fast, you can always add just a little bit of water. And it's not going to hurt anything. It's just going to help it to continue to steam. Because these are not ready yet. If you tried to eat them now, they will be crunchy. Nobody wants crunchy grits. All right. Smelling good in here, y'all. All right, turn these over. We're getting a beautiful brown on there. That's going to taste so good. That is a culinary term. It's called the Maillard reaction, when things turn brown and it changes the whole flavor profile. So like if you eat just a piece of bread, no heat involved, you know, it tastes fine, maybe even a little sweet. But when you toast it, it changes the whole texture and flavor of that bread. It gives it something extra. Same thing with your vegetables. Roast the, you steam the broccoli and then roast the broccoli. And see, don't you see a difference? That Maillard reaction is everything. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and take these out. I know that was really quick, but again, we're going to return them to the gravy. So it will be okay. They will finish cooking and we don't want them to turn into rubber. So we'll take them on out. We'll turn that off so the heat can stop cooking. I don't want it to, before I get them all out of there. Why didn't I use my tongs? And I got these great pasta tongs. These are a Pampered Chef. This is a new item from last fall. And it makes it much easier to grab all these shrimp than me trying to balance them on the spatula. It helps to pick up pasta and other things. And I just wasn't thinking, because I got all the tools I need right here. All right, I'm gonna move this over for just a moment. So I'm gonna lose anything. All right, so we got some oil already in the pan. We're gonna put just a little bit more because we're making gravy. So gravy, the base of gravy is basically something that some people call roux. You're gonna cook the flour. We're gonna cook the flour and we're gonna season it. So already we got the leftover from the shrimp in there. We added just a little bit more so that the whole bottom of the pan is coated with oil. And now we're gonna add some flour to this. Thank you. So I'm gonna, well, that's a little bit more than a quarter cup. I'm gonna do about a quarter cup. Do I want more than that? I might want a little more. Just a little under a half, so it's almost 2 quarter cups. I'll keep that right there just in case. So we're gonna put it back on medium. It's so quiet, I wasn't sure. Like medium, high. And we're just gonna, remember I told you can use metal in your non-stick with Pampered Chef. And we're just gonna whisk this together. And we want this to gently cook. Oh, I might need more than that because I think we're gonna need more gravy than that for all that shrimp. Get a little bit more oil. Yeah, I'm originally a home cook, so I don't always know the exact measurement. So we're putting a little bit more oil in there. And we're gonna get a little bit more flour. Another quarter cup, so we'd say 3/4 cups and maybe about a quarter cup of oil or so. I just want to make sure we got enough gravy for all of the shrimp that we got. Yeah, that looks good. All right, so it kind of looks like, well, you guys can see it. So it's a light color right now. We're gonna cook it because the flour, raw flour, if you just had flour and water together, or you just ate a spoon of flour, it would not taste like gravy. You need that Maillard reaction to happen, so it's got to brown. So that's what we're doing right now. We're cooking the flour, and this is basically making what they call a roux. One of the mistakes that sometimes people make in cooking gravy is to walk away. And you cannot walk away when you're cooking things like gravy or making a roux. You got to keep it moving. So, because you don't want it to burn. There's a real thin line between, browning and burning when it comes to this, because there's nothing in here. It might look like liquid, but there's nothing in here but oil and flour. I'm going to go ahead and get some water, because that's what we're going to start adding in next. Some seasonings and some water. So I got 2 cups on standby. And we're going to go ahead and start layering in these seasonings. So one thing I'm going to use is, I'm going to try to measure this. I'm going to use my adjustable measuring spoon. This goes from 1 tablespoon all the way down to a teaspoon. And I'm going to put a tablespoon of chicken bouillon, the granulated kind. It's made by Knorr. Knorr. It's a really good one. I'm going to put that in. I am going to put in a bay leaf, a couple of bay leaves. They're in pieces. They're getting down to the bottom of the pack. About 3 bay leaves. Now you get a little bit more forgiveness with this pan than you would with a cast iron, right? That non-stick kind of gives you a little bit of grace. But as you can see, my color is changing. And you want the gravy, you want this flour to brown as you want your gravy to be. Because once you start adding in the water, there's no more browning happening. And when you start adding in the water, it's thinning it out. But there's no more browning going on. This is onion powder. I'm going to put a tablespoon of the onion powder. Instead of having big chunks of onions in the shrimp and grits. we're gonna put the onion powder to get the flavor. And it also kind of helps with thickening to some of these powdered spices. Smelling good, ladies?
Yes.
All right. Just a second. Let's get some garlic going. All right, so we're going to do some fresh garlic. We want to press that in. This is ground allspice. It has a dark brown color, so it's going to help us out a little bit with the gravy, with the color. But we're still going to cook now because we don't want it to taste like raw flour. Ooh, that smells so good. All right, and then we're going to do some garlic. This is fresh garlic. Cut it back just a little bit. And we're going to put the whole clove inside of our garlic press, skin and all, and push it right out. Mm-hmm. So this is Pampered Chef's garlic press, and it is amazing. You might have seen some garlic presses, but I promise you they're not like this one. And then you could just pull that skin out with the end of this little cleaning brush. We'll put another piece in there. And we got all our garlic out without even having to fight to peel it because it is a fight. That little brush helps to clean out those little holes. And it just stores right inside of the handle. Just like that. All right, so we are browned. Time for a little bit of thyme. And then we're gonna, that's probably about a half a teaspoon.
Now, are those Pampered Chefs? Oh,
that's just regular thyme. Mm-hmm. Pampered Chef has one amazing seasoning. It's just that what we chose to cook today, I normally don't use Pampered Chef seasonings with my version of shrimp and grits, but I probably need to come up with one that uses Pampered Chef. But Pampered Chef has seasonings that I love. I'm going to show you some. I brought some to show. All right, so now we have browned the flour with the oil. It's time to start adding in the water. So we can add the water in. That's just cold water. And you're going to take your whisk because we don't want it to be lumpy, clumpy gravy. So as we are, we're going to keep that moving. Some more water. Can you give me some more water? Mm-hmm. So that was the first 2 cups of water. But we made a nice amount of, we had a lot of flour in here because we wanted a nice amount of gravy for our shrimp. Because they're going to go and get returned to this gravy. Yeah, you can pour it in. Here we go. All right, so we got 4 cups of water in here. Now you don't, that wasn't yes it is. Okay, so this gravy is puffing up a little bit more than what your gravy will probably puff up because it's self-rising. So remember, if you use self-rising flour, sometimes you can use a little less because it's got that baking powder and stuff in there that makes it rise. So it's swelling up a little bit more than all-purpose. But that just means we add a little bit more water. That's all. Right now it's looking good. And we're gonna go with a little bit more of our Jamaican seafood seasoning. And the all-purpose seasoning, which is kind of like Mrs. Dash. Put a little bit of that in there. So we're going to get another spoon and we'll do a little... We're going to do a quality check on salt so you can taste it. That's good to me. Now, I got high blood pressure, so I'm going to let you taste it. Thank you. Adjust. That's what they need, because now we're going to return the shrimp. But if you want some more, you let me know. I can salt it up a little bit more. But I think we're good.
No, that's good.
So now we're going to return the shrimp. And all the drippings that were in there, because that's seasoning too. To the pan and just fold them in. Okay? So now we're done with that part. It's gonna be delicious. I dropped one. Okay? Does that not look amazing? Okay. So the skillet comes with a nice dome lid. Put that right on top, and we're going to cut it all the way down on the lowest it can possibly go, because we're not trying to overcook the shrimp. But we do need to see what's going on over here with this grits. Yes? So it's like it's trying to stick just a little bit at the bottom. Probably I had it up a little bit too high. That's my learning curve with the gas. We could put some water in here if you want to. Or we could leave it just like that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I feel like I want to put a little bit just to make it come up from the bottom.
A little water.
I like what it's stuck at the bottom of the pan. Just a little. But the grits are done. You stir those up good. Nice, thick grits. So this part is ready. Y'all ready to plate it up and sample? And I'll just get these few things together, and we can start on our next.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait until we finish it.
Okay, you wanna wait till everything's finished? All right. Okay, so we're gonna move this over because it really doesn't need to cook anymore. And is that as low as it'll go? So if we're gonna wait, I definitely gonna put some more water in here so that it won't end up a mess. That water will help it so that it won't get, it won't be burning at the bottom. And we just keep it on low. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make a quick pineapple cake. Yes, let me move these couple things. We don't need these anymore. We're gonna use the rock crock. So the rock crock is an amazing piece of cookware. It is made out of stone, but it is coated. It can handle temperatures over 700 degrees. This can go on direct flame, outdoors on your grill. You can bake with it. You can put it on the stove top, because we're getting ready to start it on the stove top. It can go in the microwave. It can go in the freezer. It can go back and forth from the freezer to the stove, and it's not going to shock it so much that it's going to shatter on you.
And what is it called?
This is called the Rock Crock.
The Rock.
I don't remember what page.
I see it back here.
I see it in
But
the
it's also up front. There's a whole collection. So they make a pizza pan out of this same material that you can put on your grill. If you're grilling, you can take, this is the Dutch oven size. And there's one that's a little bit more shallow that is called the everyday pan. And you can make your baked beans right outside on the grill. While you cook, you know, when you finish cooking everything else, just let it sit out there on the grill in the pot, and you put your little molasses, brown sugar, peppers and onions, and let it brown up outside. You don't have to turn on the oven in the kitchen. The grill is an oven. And when you got the right cookware, you can use it as such. So we're gonna melt a stick of butter in the Rock Crock. And this is an easy pineapple upside down cake. We also need some brown sugar. We're gonna bubble some brown sugar in with the butter. Let's see how much you got. So we're gonna do a the recipe called for one thing, but I was just like more. It needed a little bit more. We're gonna do a cup of brown sugar. Ooh. Tip over, Keisha. I'm gonna have to wash my whisk.
I can do it for you.
Yeah. Will you, yeah, and then just rinse that out. Because I have, it's my first time using it. So we got a cup of brown sugar. We are melting. I'm gonna use my scraper. We can cook with these as well. This can handle high temperatures, and it's a great cooking utensil, not just for scraping cake batter. So we're melting the butter. We're gonna put in a cup of brown sugar, and we're gonna get this all bubbly and melting. And then on top of that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna lay down some pineapples and cherries. If you got nuts, you could put some crushed nuts in here too. And then we're gonna pour cake batter over top. Just an inexpensive box of yellow cake mix. So what we got some good old Aldi cake mix. I think it might cost 85 cents a box. So this is nothing fancy, but it's a winner. Sometimes you just need a little something sweet and you don't want to wait all day. So this is going to be done very quickly. So we're melting the butter and the sugar together to get this all nice and bubbly. Then we're going to lay these pineapple in here. I think I want to use the juice from the pineapple for the cake. That'd be good. So I want to use the juice from the pineapple for the cake. Let me see how much liquid we need. A cup of water. So whatever I don't get in pineapple juice, I'll fill the rest with water. So it was like a half a cup of juice in that can. If you fill this up to 1 cup for water for the cake. This is our new mixing bowl from Pampered Chef. And it's got a nice rubber ring on the bottom so it's not sliding around. Cause I know, we said, oh, I'm gonna use the whisk. You can go. Yeah, I think so. Yep, we just wanna mix everything. And then we need 1/3 of a cup of oil. There we go. So we got 1 cup of water, which is the pineapple and the water. We got 1/3 a cup of oil coming. We're gonna put 3 eggs in there and the box of cake mix. All right, we're starting to bubble over here. So we just got brown sugar, a stick of butter, and a cup of brown sugar. And we're just melting that all together so it's nice and bubbly. Pineapple cake. Yep. Making a little dessert. All right, so we put the oil in the bowl. And we need 3 eggs. So we got 3 eggs in there and a box of cake mix. And remember, don't go crazy on the cake mix. It's just a one little inexpensive box of cake mix. Don't need nothing fancy. Because this is a quick cake. It's a quick pineapple upside down cake. I'm going to break these yolks. Put this cake batter in there. So we're just going to mix that together. Just some good old yellow cake. All right, let's make sure we're not burning over here on our sugar and the butter. It's doing good. Okay, everything is all bubbly. It's all melted. So we're going to take these pineapple and lay them down into this mixture that is hot as heck. So it says 7 rings. Whew. Trying to get them to all fit down in there nice. Lay down nice. I did put extra sugar and butter, so they might not be trying to act nice, but we gonna. All right, we turned that off. We need some cherries. We'll put a cherry in the middle of each one. I'm over here struggling, and I do not have to. Jar opener. Just like that. Uh-oh. Cassandra, I need a wet something. I see it. I want to get the cherries out. I need 7 cherries. Okay. Out of here. Let me get a wet paper towel. Some soapy water on that because I dropped a little bit of that cherry juice right here beside the mat. Okay, thank you. The because that'll be a mess if we don't get up now. You cook? Yes. What's your favorite dish to cook? French fries. Ooh. And grits? We got a mandolin that is like the French fry master with cutting French fries. That rapid prep mandolin is amazing. It can cut a sweet potato without bending the blade. And so that's in the mandolin market, it's hard to find a mandolin that will cut through a dense, because a sweet potato is very dense without bending the blade, but we can go through it and cut either rings or French fries very quickly. Yeah, it's called a rapid prep mandolin. And it has a little nice food tray. I've got some videos that I can show you. I'll make sure I tag y'all in some videos with that rapid prep mandolin. I made some sweet potato hash on the page with it a couple weeks ago. We got 7?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got 7.
You need to take the stem off?
Yeah, I'm gonna take them off as I drop them. Okay, we're going 1 in each hole.
Yeah, stem maker too. Don't you got a stem?
Yeah, we do. We have a cherry pitter that will take the pit out of a fresh cherry or olive. Yep, it's the olive and cherry pitter. I used it when those cherries came out, because cherries only out about 3 weeks. You got about 3 weeks and that's it on the cherries. And while they were out, I was pitting up some cherries. Okay, so then we got our yellow cake batter, and we're just gonna pour this over top of the pineapples, the cherries, and all that brown sugar and butter. Yes. Whew. Just scrape all the goodness out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we are going to put a lid on this cake and put it in the microwave for 9 minutes.
Wait a minute.
9 minutes on high. 9 minutes on high. Right back there in the microwave. So in the meantime, get a little paper towel. Got a little thing going on over here. All right. The scrapers. Oh yeah, they're amazing. I cook with them. You can hold the heat. So I want to tell you a little bit about taste buds. All right. See our young chef? Yeah. So Taste Buds is an amazing subscription service. You get a packet like this once a month. Woo-hoo. And when you open it up, you will get 3 packets of seasoning and 3 recipe cards in your Taste Buds subscription. Now these packets have about half a bottle of our seasoning. So if you've ever seen our seasoning, some people, if you're familiar with them, you will swear by our seasonings. Our seasonings are the bomb. Now this particular dish is something I made before I started selling Pampered Chef. So I haven't adjusted it to the Pampered Chef season, but there are several that I love. This is one of them. Smoky applewood. Honey, you put smoky applewood. I sprinkle this on sandwiches to make a panini. Put spinach, provolone cheese, sprinkle some of this and some Dijon mustard and turkey. Look an onion, thin sliced onion, put it in that grill and griddle and warm that. You would think you had bacon on your sandwich with the smoky applewood seasoning. It's also delicious on ribs. A roast, I have made a roast with it. It's good sprinkled on my popcorn. I had the other day, didn't feel like cleaning up the grease from making bacon. So I've scrambled eggs, put them over top of some grits, and sprinkled this on top. I thought I had a piece of bacon in there. Smoky applewood is gone. I just picked these random ones up. This is ranch. You can add it in with sour cream, make your own dips. You can add it in with mayo, make your own spreads. You can put it on dry, dust some wings, toss some wings in it. Let's see, what is this one? This one is carnitas. Put this in your pressure cooker with a Boston butt, or what is the other name for that? Boston butt, pork shoulder. Thank you. Or a pork shoulder. And then once it's cooked, just shred the meat and make all kinds of delicious tacos, quesadillas, rice dishes, salads, sandwiches, empanadas, anything you can think of, because you got all that nice shredded meat with a wonderful seasoning. So the Taste Bud subscription, right, it just helps, because sometimes we can get in a rut and we're cooking the same 5 meals every week. And it's like you got your go-to meals, the family likes them, but for the cook, you get tired of cooking the same stuff over and over again. So, when you get this inspiration once a month, you try out some new dishes. It's a great way to get the kids in the kitchen. Let them help. That's how they're going to learn those independent living skills, is by helping to cook. And you try out some new seasonings. This is 20% off this month. And another bonus is that this season, if you get a subscription to Taste Bud, you will have free shipping whenever you want to get a full-size bottle of the seasoning. So when one of those come around and you like the seasoning, you want to get a whole bottle, you just go online and let them know. They'll add it on to your next one. No additional shipping. Nobody wants to pay $8 shipping for one bottle of seasoning. Also, there's about 50 other items that Pamper Chef sells, smaller items that you can add on to your order if you needed it, if you got a Taste Bud subscription. So it's almost like Pamper Chef Prime. But this is a great way to kind of keep in rotation some ideas, some new flavors. And when you got seasonings that somebody else has already kind of put the combination of things together, it takes the guesswork out, because you may not be familiar with using certain seasonings or certain herbs and spices. And this is a good way that somebody else has put the ones that work well together, and you can try it out. So there are lots and lots of different ones. Let's see, what else we got over here? I just grabbed some. Oh, this is the new set. So there was a new set that came out last month. Honey Sriracha. This is a new one. Garlic Parmesan. Korean barbecue. We got a smoky barbecue, a Kansas City barbecue, a South Carolina style barbecue that's like a mustard base. All these rubs are delicious, especially rubbed on meats and put it in the air fryer or roasted in the oven. These will save the day. This season we also have one called Tuscan chicken, and you can mix that in with whole pieces of chicken and some veggies and run it in the oven in a baker, and it will give you a whole meal. It comes with 3 of those packets. It's like a meal starter packet. You buy 3 for one price. All right. I can talk, can't I? Down to 3 minutes. If you've been noticing right here on the side, I'm just trying to show you the things that I brought with me. Can't bring everything, but right here on the side, I have been using this little pull-out tray to rest my spoon, and it kind of hides under this rotating utensil holder. Stainless steel. The middle cup comes out, and this is where I keep all of my tools. It's wonderful to have right beside your stove for the things that you use most often. And then it's also easy to just take the whole thing and put it away somewhere. You can either put it under a cabinet in a bag or basket or wherever you need to if you don't want it to be seen. But for me, it works really nicely on my counter because I can spin it around and get everything I need. Let's see, have I talked about, oh, and this is one more tool that I brought. We're not using it today, but it is a very helpful tool for, everybody doesn't like shrimp and grits. Everybody doesn't eat grits, savory grits. Some people like grits sweet. I don't know why, but I'm a Southern girl, so I want mine savory. This is a steamer. This is our micro cooker. The lid locks in place. It has lots of vent holes and can be used kind of like a strainer to strain off the liquid. It is very heavy, so this is not something that's real flexible or flimsy or it's going to be weak when it gets hot. It's like a pot, but it's made for your microwave. You can put 1 cup of rice and 2 cups of water in here. Whatever seasoning you would like to have in your rice, little touch of oil, salt, pepper, onion powder, thyme, some other seasoning, whatever. Put it in the microwave for 15 minutes. Open it up and fluff it, and you're gonna have perfectly cooked rice in 15 minutes, no fuss. This thing is amazing and it's very inexpensive. It's less than 20 bucks. This is one piece. It does come with a set of 3 or you can buy individuals. This is the 2 quart. Love it. Love it, love it. All right. We on the countdown. We got 30 seconds on our cake. Do you want me to start another pot of grits for you?
Wow.
Because the people that's here, y'all gonna eat it.
Oh, okay.
We can make another pot.
Okay.
And then that way it'll be grits for Dad when he get home. I probably should have made 2 cups, but I'll make it, after we finish.
Okay.
We're gonna show the cake and then plate up. Oh, this is this is another thing I didn't show. This is I was using this earlier, but I didn't really talk about it. So this is one of our 1 cup prep bowls. It comes in a set of 6 with lids. This is a really nice addition if you are trying to do portion control or just to use as utility around the kitchen. All right, I need some mitts. She gonna be hot. Yes. I said this sink. Okay. All right. A plate.
Paper plate?
Plate.
Oh.
So what we're gonna do? Oh, it's not turned around. Let's see. You can't eat pineapples? Oh no, I'm sorry. All right. Okay. So we got our cake here. Take the lid off. The cake is done. I didn't bring my tester. But trust me, the cake is done.
Okay.
They're done.
Yeah.
So immediately we're gonna flip this. Lord, please let this thing turn out right. Whew. Hold my mouth right. Oh, I accidentally put one too many. Oh, she slid. So that'll soak up in this cake. All right. Woo. I flipped her. She a little off to the side. Can y'all? They can't see it. Let me bring it close. I could take this out. I can bring it over here. Look at the cake. Yes. So there's our pineapple upside. That's a quick pineapple upside down cake. We made this cake in the microwave. 9 minutes. Let that go up under there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still gonna try that. Okay.
Come on. Scooch over.
That's good.
Oh, yeah. I just trying to scoot it over on that plate a little bit. I have to clean that up. You have a soapy. Is that one soapy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All that is butter and sugar.
That turned out really good.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we ready now. What does it do? Does it break you out?
My mouth swells up.
Oh. What she say? She gonna try not to? Yeah, they're pretty impressive for 9 minutes in the microwave.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Put my back to y'all. 9 minutes in the microwave. What do you think? Hey. All right. So, hopefully you all, I have convinced you that you should order the Taste Bud subscription. This month is a special month. It's 20% off. This month is also the first month of our brand new catalog. So if you need a new catalog, drop me a message and I'll send you one in the mail. Well, I'll get your address and I'll send you one in the mail. Also, if you would like to host a party, if you're in Cassandra's party and you book to host a party, if 3 people book, Cassandra gets an extra bonus, and that's really nice. To thank her for allowing us to do this demonstration in her kitchen. Also, 60% off for host this month for a qualifying party. And if your party reaches $650 in sales, you get an extra $100 in free product. $215 in free product with a party for $650. So that is amazing. That's better than what the consultants get. A lot of us are trying to have parties this month too. So let me know if you'd like to host a party. I hope you enjoyed today. Oh, you got a sample. Because, you know, I'm going to tell you that the shrimp and grits is good, but, you know.
Let me sample it.
Yeah.
She already sampled it. It's next.
So the crushed nuts would have just been extra on that cake.
Have you ever tried the pancake and waffle mix?
I have it, but I have not tried it. But I've heard it's good. I'm perfectly honest. My favorite pancake waffle mix is Cracker Barrel.
Oh.
And that's the only reason why I haven't tried it. Because Cracker Barrel just put water in there.
Where you get that?
That Cracker Barrel.
Oh yeah. I was trying to see if
They got one that they sell in the grocery store, but it's not the same. That's the one they sell in the store. Yeah, the one that's in the grocery store is like a biscuit and pancake mix. I was like biscuit. And it's a little different consistency.
Somebody said
That
beautiful
one in the store,
kitchen. And somebody said
pancakes they
kitchen.
bring you in the store is just like that.
Oh, okay.
But I do know a lot of people that use our waffle, especially with the grill and griddle, to make the waffles. I don't eat waffles that much. I'm more of a pancake.
Yeah.
And pancake batter and waffle batter is different.
I was wondering because today I saw
It's different.
I saw a pancake batter and a waffle batter.
But you might have to add an egg to one. You know what I mean? But there's definitely a difference between the two.
What's the difference?
Okay, we're getting samples. It's going around samples.
It looks good.
Oh, those grits still bubbling.
Mm-hmm.
You might want to turn it off. That gas. I didn't even put the cayenne pepper in there. Do y'all like spicy?
Yes.
You want some, get some cayenne?
This is
I didn't put any in
My
it.
stomach will be hurting, but I cannot hear her.
Yeah,
Can
sprinkle
you
some
please give me
cayenne.
the recipe?
Yeah, and
I'm
see, it's
the
not a,
gravy. I haven't got to the
and it's not a, when y'all watch me make it, it's not a, specific recipe, but I can tell you what all is in there. All right, we got some ums and ahs going on in the kitchen with the shrimp and grits.
Yes.
And then as soon as this cake cools down, we'll slice it. But you know that a pineapple upside down cake is going to be a winner, especially when you can cook it in 9 minutes in the microwave. Get at it. Look at there. Beautiful. You don't like gravy? Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
That's special, right? So when people tell me about these shrimp and grits, like, oh, you don't put cheese in your grits? No, I don't. My gravy is you don't need no cheese. I'll show you everything. I'm not good on measurements specific, but you know how to make gravy, right?
I don't usually make homemade, but yeah.
Oh, okay. But you watch me make it.
Yeah.
So you made it like that with the flour?
Oil and flour, some seasoning, and then put the juice from the meat and stuff went back in there. Yep.
I live right down the street.
All right, we're done for today. I hope you enjoy.